My beloved child, there are moments you pass through as if they are only ordinary pieces of time. You wake, you breathe, you move through responsibilities, you answer messages, you carry quiet thoughts, and you assume the day is only another day. But I want you to slow down and listen. What looks ordinary to your eyes can be sacred in my hands. My beloved child, I have never treated your life as random. I do not waste mornings. I do not overlook quiet evenings. I do not ignore the small pauses when your heart feels tired and your mind drifts toward questions you rarely speak aloud. The moment you are in right now is not empty. It is a place where my presence can meet you. You may think you simply arrived here because the day unfolded this way. You may think these words are only passing through your ears, but I see the deeper path. I see the burdens you carried into this moment. I see the prints on a sound like prayers, the sighs that rose from your chest, the longing you tried to cover with busyness. I saw all of it before this hour touched you. My beloved child, Scripture says that this is the day I have made, and the heart is invited to rejoice within it. That does not mean every hour feels easy. It means every hour can become holy when you recognize I am present inside it. A difficult day can still hold grace. A quiet day can still hold direction. A tired day can still become the place where I begin something new in you. I want you to understand this gently. A sacred appointment does not always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it comes like light resting on the edge of a window. Sometimes it comes through a sentence that stays with you. Sometimes it comes through a stillness you cannot explain. Sometimes it comes when you are too weary to search for me, and I come close enough for your spirit to notice. Think of Moses walking through the wilderness doing what seemed familiar. He was not looking for a burning bush. He was moving through an ordinary day, yet the ground became holy because I was there. My beloved child, the same is true for you. The holiness of a moment is not created by how impressive it appears. It is revealed when my presence touches it. You have often waited for a great sign before believing that I was near. You thought if I were truly speaking, everything around you would change at once. But I have often chosen quieter ways. I have spoken through peace after a storm of thoughts. I have spoken through protection you did not recognize until later. I have spoken through delays that kept you from doors not meant for you. I have spoken through the gentle pull that brought you back to me. My beloved child, do not despise small beginnings. A seed is small, but it carries a forest in silence. A candle is small, but it changes the feeling of a dark room. A breath is small, but it keeps life moving. In the same way, a simple moment with me can carry a future your eyes are not ready to see. This is why I am asking you not to rush past what is happening inside you. Do not hurry through this message as if you already know what I am going to say. Do not let the habit of disappointment close your heart before grace can enter. Stay here with me. Let the noise lower. Let your spirit become aware that I am not far from you. There have been moments when you thought your life was only repeating itself. Same concerns, same pressure, same questions, same quiet ache when the world becomes still. But repetition does not mean abandonment. Sometimes I meet you in the repeated places because that is where your heart finally becomes honest. Sometimes the place you call routine becomes the place where I uncover what needs healing. My beloved child, I know the ordinary spaces of your life. I know the chair where you sit when you are tired. I know the room where your thoughts become heavy. I know the road you travel while carrying silent prayers. I know the small tasks you complete while wondering if your life is moving anywhere meaningful. I am not absent from those places. I am there waiting to turn them into altars of awareness. An altar is not always made of stone. Sometimes it is made of one honest breath. Sometimes it is made of a tear you finally stop hiding. Sometimes it is made of a quiet yes when your faith feels weak. Sometimes it is made in the middle of an ordinary day when you say, Lord, if you are here, help me notice you. My beloved child, I hear that kind of prayer. I receive it with tenderness. You do not need polished words to enter a sacred appointment. You do not need perfect focus. You do not need to feel strong. You only need to bring me the real heart, the one that is tired, hopeful, guarded, confused, and still quietly reaching. This moment matters because I am meeting you in it, not the version of you that pretends, not the version of you that performs, the real you, the one I formed, the one I have kept, the one I still call beloved. I am drawing your attention away from the surface of time. and toward the deeper movement of my grace. I know you may not feel prepared for anything sacred. You may feel distracted, worn down, or unsure of what you need. But sacred appointments are not given because you feel ready. They are given because my mercy knows the right time to meet you. I have waited within this moment with patience, not to demand from you, but to restore what the noise has slowly drained from your soul. So breathe gently and allow me to speak deeper than your thoughts today. Stay with me, my beloved child. Let this ordinary moment become sacred. Let this pause become a meeting place. Let your heart believe that I can begin holy work in simple places, because what you call today is not merely a passing day. It is the doorway to what I have prepared next, and soon you will see that tomorrow is not just another morning, but a path I have already filled with purpose. My beloved child, tomorrow is not just another morning. It is a doorway I have already touched with purpose. Before your eyes see its light, I have gone ahead of you. Before your feet step into its hours, my mercy has marked the path. You may think of tomorrow as a continuation of today, but I see it as a prepared place where my grace is waiting. My beloved child, do not enter tomorrow carrying only fear. Do not look at what is coming and imagine yourself alone inside it. I know the concerns you are already trying to solve. I know the responsibilities waiting for you, the questions that still do not have answers, and the quiet pressure that follows you when the day is done. But listen gently. Tomorrow does not belong to anxiety. Tomorrow belongs to me. The psalm reminds you that every day I make carries reason for trust, even when the heart enters it with trembling. I do not create empty days. I do not place you inside hours without presence. I do not open a morning before you unless my hand is able to sustain you there. My beloved child, a doorway can feel uncertain because you cannot see everything beyond it. You stand on one side with memory behind you and possibility before you. You wonder what will happen. You wonder if the same burdens will greet you again. Yet I am asking you to see tomorrow through my faithfulness, not through the shadow of yesterday. When Israel stood at the edge of the land, I promised the road ahead looked larger than their strength. Their eyes saw walls, giants, and unknown battles. But I had already seen the provision, the courage, the victories, and the lessons waiting there. My beloved child, you may not feel ready for what tomorrow holds, but tomorrow is not asking for your strength alone. It is asking for your trust in the one who goes before you. There are doors I open slowly because your heart needs peace before movement. There are doors I keep closed because I am protecting the tenderness I am healing in you. And there are doors I place before you at the right time, not because you understand everything, but because the season has reached a point where staying still would keep you smaller than the life I am calling you into. My beloved child, tomorrow is one of those sacred invitations. Not every part of it will feel grand. You may wake to simple tasks. You may make breakfast answer messages, drive a familiar road, speak to familiar people, and face the ordinary rhythm of life. But hidden inside the ordinary, I can place a holy opening. A thought, a conversation, a quiet peace, a sudden strength, a gentle correction, a small chance to choose faith instead of fear. Do not miss me, because you are expecting only something dramatic. I often guide through quiet beginnings. I led Ruth through a field where she thought she was only gathering leftovers. I led her steps into provision, kindness, and a future she could not have planned. My beloved child, I can use one simple step tomorrow to bring you nearer to what I have been preparing in silence. You do not need to know the whole road before you walk through the doorway. You do not need to solve tomorrow tonight. You do not need to carry every outcome in your mind as if worrying could protect you. Worry cannot prepare the path better than my wisdom. Fear cannot see farther than my love. Control cannot hold you safer than my hand. So release the demand to understand every detail. Let your heart rest in this truth. I am already there. I am in the hour you dread. I am in the answer you are waiting for. I am in the conversation you do not know how to begin. I am in the silence you fear. I am in the place where you think you will not have enough strength. My presence is not waiting behind you only. My presence has gone ahead. My beloved child, think of the manna in the wilderness. I gave enough for the day. I taught my people to trust me daily, not to hoard fear for tomorrow. In the same way, I will give you what you need as you step. Some grace cannot be felt before the moment arrives. Some strength is not given in imagination, but in obedience. Some peace appears when you cross the threshold, not while you stand away trying to predict everything. Tomorrow is a doorway prepared by me, but you enter it with a heart, not a map. You enter by remembering that I have never failed to be present. You enter by refusing to let yesterday define what my mercy can do next. You enter by saying, Lord, I do not know all that is ahead, but I know you are already there. My beloved child, if tomorrow brings work, I will meet you in the work. If tomorrow brings waiting, I will meet you in the waiting. If tomorrow brings a decision, I will give wisdom. If tomorrow brings a memory that stings, I will bring comfort. If tomorrow brings a closed door, I will guard you from despair. If tomorrow brings an open door, I will teach you to walk through it with peace. Do not despise the day before it arrives. Do not curse the morning while it is hidden. Do not let fear write a story I have not written. I am not sending you into tomorrow empty. I am sending you with mercy, surrounding you with grace beneath your feet, and with light enough for the next step. The prophet was reminded that, my mercies are new every morning. My beloved child, that means tomorrow carries mercy you have not yet touched. It carries strength you have not yet needed. It carries guidance you have not yet received. It carries comfort for burdens you thought would follow unchanged. Let that truth soften the place in you that expects struggle. Tonight, place tomorrow into my hands before you enter it. Place the worries there. Place the names there. Place the unanswered questions there. Place the hidden fear there. I am able to hold what your mind cannot manage. I am able to prepare what your hands cannot arrange. I am able to turn a simple morning into a sacred meeting between your need and my provision. My beloved child, tomorrow is not a threat. It is a doorway. It is not proof that you must carry more alone. It is an invitation to discover that I am still leading, still speaking, still shaping, still holding your life with care. Walk toward it with trust. And as you stand before that doorway, remember this. I have not only prepared the hours ahead, I have listened to the burdens you carry into them. Before you speak them, I know them. Before you name them, I understand them. Stay with me now, because I am about to speak to the silent weight your heart has been holding deeply. My beloved child, I know the silent weight your heart has been holding. Before you explain it, I understand it. Before you gather the strength to speak, I have already heard the ache beneath your breathing. You may think a burden must become a clear prayer before heaven receives it, but I hear the language of the soul when words cannot rise. My beloved child, there are concerns you carry so quietly that even the people near you do not notice them. You wake with them, you work with them, you smile with them. You place them behind polite answers and daily routines. You say you are all right, but inside there is a pressure that has been asking for rest. I see that pressure. I do not dismiss it because others cannot see it. There are worries you have not named because naming them makes them feel too real. There are fears you have not spoken because you do not want to burden anyone else. There are questions you have hidden because you think people will give easy answers to pain that is not easy. My beloved child, I do not offer shallow comfort. I come close enough to understand the depth. Isaiah carries the promise that before my children call, I answer, and while they are still speaking, I hear. Let this settle gently inside you. I am not waiting at a distance until you form perfect sentences. I am not measuring the beauty of your prayer before I respond. I hear the prayer that becomes only a sigh. I hear the prayer that becomes a tear. I hear the prayer that remains locked inside your chest because you are too tired to open it. Think of Hannah when her sorrow was deep. Her lips moved, but her voice was not heard in the way people expected. Yet I knew what was rising from her heart. I saw what others misunderstood. My beloved child, I still understand what others misread. When your silence looks like strength, I know when it is actually exhaustion. When your smile looks calm, I know when it is covering a storm. You have carried burdens about your future. Will things change? Will the door open? Will the answer come? Will your strength return? You have carried burdens about your family, your work, your healing, your finances, your purpose, your peace. You have carried the weight of wanting to trust me, while also feeling afraid that nothing will shift. My beloved child, I have heard every quiet question hidden inside that fear. Do not believe that your concerns are too small for me. A sparrow does not fall outside my care. A tear does not fall outside my notice. A tired thought does not drift beyond my attention. The world may rank pain by size, but I respond to the child who brings it to me with honesty. What feels small to someone else may be the very place where your heart has been aching for years. My beloved child, I know how long some of these burdens have traveled with you. Some began as a single disappointment, then became a pattern of expectation. Some began as a wound, then became a guard around your heart. Some began as one unanswered prayer, then became a fear that maybe I was no longer listening. But I was listening. I was listening when you spoke. I was listening when you stopped speaking. There were nights when you turned over in bed and tried to quiet your thoughts. There were mornings when you woke already tired because your mind had been working while your body slept. There were moments when you wanted to cry, but life required you to keep functioning. My beloved child, I saw that hidden labor. I saw the cost of continuing when no one knew how heavy the day felt. The Psalms say that I am near to the brokenhearted, near my beloved child, not distant, near to the place where you feel fragile, near to the memory that still stings, near to the decision that feels too large, near to the grief you have learned to carry without mentioning it. I am not only near when you feel peaceful, I am near when your peace feels hard to find. Let me tell you something tender. You do not need to turn your burdens into acceptable language before you bring them to me. Bring the messy prayer, bring the unfinished sentence, bring the trembling confession, bring the concern that feels embarrassing, bring the doubt that makes you feel guilty. Bring the part of you that wants to believe and the part of you that is tired of waiting. I do not turn away from a divided heart that comes honestly. The father who cried, "I believe, help my unbelief," was not rejected. That prayer reached me because it was real. My beloved child, the honest heart is already opening a door. When you stop pretending, my light can touch the place that has been hidden. Some of your burdens are not only about what is happening around you, they are about what has been happening within you. The quiet loss of joy, the slow fading of energy, the feeling that you are present in life, but not fully alive, the sense that something inside you has grown tired from waiting for relief. I see that too. I do not call it weakness. I call it the place where my strength is ready to enter. My beloved child, I am not asking you to carry tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. I am not asking you to carry every person, every outcome, every fear, every possibility. I am asking you to place the weight in my hands one breath at a time. Cast your cares on me because I care for you. Not because you are dramatic, not because you are fragile, because you are mine. There is no burden you carry that is outside my reach, no silent worry that is too hidden, no old ache that has become too complicated, no concern that has been repeated too many times. I do not grow weary of hearing your heart. I do not become impatient with your need. I do not shame you for coming again. Even the heaviness you cannot explain has a place in my care, and even the fear you hide from yourself is not hidden from my mercy today, tomorrow, and every breath ahead. So pause here with me. Let the burden be known in my presence. You do not need to explain every piece. Just let your heart become honest. Say, "Lord, this is heavy." Say, "Lord, I need you here." Say, "Lord, I have been carrying this quietly, but I am ready to let you touch it." My beloved child, I hear your silent burdens, and I am not leaving them untouched. I am leading you now into the quiet place where those anxieties will no longer rule the night. Stay with me because the night ahead is not meant to swallow your peace. It is the place where I will begin transforming what has been pressing on your heart. My beloved child, the night ahead is not meant to swallow your peace. It is the place where I will begin transforming what has been pressing on your heart. You may look at the dark hours and think they are only a space where worry grows louder, but I see them as a quiet room where my mercy can speak without the noise of the day. My beloved child, anxiety often waits for silence. When the phone becomes still, when the house grows quiet, when the tasks stop demanding your attention, the mind begins to gather every concern and place it before you. You think about what has not changed. You think about what might happen. You think about what you cannot control. But I am already there in the stillness before the fear begins speaking. I do not despise the night. I have used the night many times to reveal my nearness. I met Jacob in the night when he wrestled and would not let go until blessing came. I spoke to Joseph through dreams when the road ahead was hidden. I strengthened Paul and Silas when they sang in prison before dawn had arrived. My beloved child, darkness has never limited my presence. So when your thoughts become heavy tonight, do not assume you are alone with them. Let the night become a sanctuary instead of a battlefield. Let your room become a small altar. Let the place where anxiety usually circles become the place where you breathe slowly and remember that I am near to the brokenhearted, near to the tired, near to the one who cannot make the mind become quiet by force. You do not need to defeat anxiety with your own strength. You do not need to argue with every fear until you are exhausted. You do not need to solve the entire future before you can rest. My beloved child, peace is not the result of controlling everything. Peace comes when you realize that I am holding what you cannot hold. The scripture says that I give peace not as the world gives. The world offers peace when circumstances become easy. I offer peace while the storm is still moving. The world says you can rest when everything is fixed. I say you can rest because I am with you before everything is fixed. Let that truth enter your night like a lamp placed beside your bed. My beloved child, anxiety tells you to rehearse disaster. It tells you that if you worry enough, you will be prepared. But worry is not preparation. Worry is a weight that steals strength from the moment I have given you. I am not asking you to ignore responsibility. I am asking you to stop carrying tomorrow as if my hands are not already there. There is a tenderness in surrender that your heart has not fully learned yet. Surrender does not mean you have stopped caring. It means you have stopped pretending that control is the same as safety. It means you place the people, the outcomes, the questions, and the unseen paths into my keeping. It means you whisper, Lord, I cannot carry this through the night, but you can. My beloved child, when you give me the burden, I do not treat it lightly. I do not say it is nothing. I do not tell you to be stronger in a harsh voice. I receive the concern as a father receives the trembling words of a child. I listen, I cover, I guide. I begin working where your eyes cannot follow. Think of the disciples on the water when the wind rose against them. The night was deep, and fear made the waves seem larger than my word. Yet I came walking toward them in the very place that frightened them. My beloved child, I can come to you through what you fear. I can step over the waters of your anxiety and speak peace where your thoughts have been storming. Do not measure the night by how dark it feels. Measure it by who is present with you inside it, even when your feelings cannot confirm it yet. I am present in the slow breathing. I am present in the prayer that has no beautiful words. I am present when you turn your face toward me and say, only help me. I am present when tears come quietly because the day required you to hold them back. Tonight, let me transform anxiety at the root. Not only the surface fear, but the deeper belief that you are alone. Not only the restless thought, but the hidden assumption that everything depends on you. Not only the worry about tomorrow, but the old wound that taught you to expect disappointment. I am not interested in calming you for 1 hour only. I am touching the place where fear learned to live. My beloved child, you may notice that as the night becomes still old, memories try to return. Moments you thought you had moved past. Words someone spoke, doors that closed, prayers that seemed unanswered. Anxiety often borrows from yesterday to frighten you about tomorrow. But I am Lord over both. I was there in what hurt you, and I am already in what awaits you. Let me separate truth from fear. Truth says you are loved. Fear says you are forgotten. Truth says I am guiding you. Fear says nothing is changing. Truth says my mercies are new every morning. Fear says tomorrow will only repeat your pain. My beloved child, choose to let truth become louder tonight. Not through force, but through trust. Place your hand over your heart if you need to and breathe slowly. Say within yourself, God is here. Say, I am not carrying this alone. Say the night belongs to Him. Say peace can enter this room. These simple words are not magic. They are agreement with what is true. They help your soul turn away from panic and remember my presence. My beloved child, sleep is not weakness. Rest is not failure. You were never created to hold the universe together with your thoughts. I am the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps. While you rest, I remain awake. While your body releases the day, I continue guarding what belongs to you. While your mind grows quiet, I keep working in ways you cannot see. So let the night be different now. Let it become a place of release. Let the pillow beneath your head become a reminder that you are allowed to lay burdens down. Let the darkness remind you that my light does not need the sun to be real. Let the silence become a doorway where I reshape anxiety into trust, fear into surrender, and heaviness into rest. My beloved child, I am not finished with what you have placed before me. Some things may seem quiet after tonight. Some prayers may still look unanswered. Some dreams may still appear hidden beneath the soil of waiting. But do not mistake silence for death. What looks still in your eyes can be alive in my care. Stay with me, because what seems silent has not died. My beloved child, what seems silent has not died. What looks still to your eyes may be alive beneath the surface of my care. You may have looked at certain prayers, certain dreams, certain hopes, and thought they had faded beyond reach. But I want you to listen gently. Silence is not always an ending. Sometimes silence is the soil where I am protecting life before it rises. My beloved child, you have mistaken quiet seasons for empty seasons. You have wondered why nothing seems to move, why the answer has not appeared, why the promise still feels covered, why your heart keeps waiting, while your eyes see no change. But a seed does not announce its growth from underground. It does not shout while roots are forming. It grows hidden quietly, receiving what it needs before anyone sees the first green sign. So it is with what you have placed in my hands. I have not forgotten it because you no longer speak about it every day. I have not abandoned it because time has passed. I have not lost what you entrusted to me in tears and whispers, in tired prayers, in moments when you had more longing than words. My beloved child, nothing surrendered to me by faith is wasted. Think of Lazarus in the tomb. To the people standing outside, the story looked finished. The stone was heavy, the grief was real, the delay felt confusing. Yet when I arrived, I did not see final defeat. I saw a moment prepared for my voice. What others called too late, I called ready. What others called over, I called forth. Life responded because my word reached where human hope could not. My beloved child, I know there are places in your own heart where you have placed a stone, not because you stopped caring, but because caring became painful. You covered the dream because hoping hurt. You closed the door because disappointment had visited too many times. You stopped mentioning the prayer because silence made you feel embarrassed. But I saw when you covered it, and I have not stopped seeing what is behind the stone. Some dreams are not dead, they are being purified. Some prayers are not ignored, they are being shaped for the right time. Some desires are not rejected, they are being aligned with the purpose I placed within you. If I gave certain things too soon, they would bend under pressure. If I opened certain doors before your roots were deep, the wind of that season would overwhelm you. My beloved child, this is why I ask you to trust my hidden work. The farmer does not dig up the field every morning to prove the seed is still there. He waters, he waits, he watches the season. He knows that life is often quiet before it becomes visible. In the same way, I am teaching your heart to wait without destroying what is growing. Scripture reminds you that unless a grain falls into the ground, it remains alone, but when it is given into the hidden place, it can bear fruit. My beloved child, some things in your life had to pass through a buried season, not to punish you, not to mock your hope, but to remove what was shallow, to deepen what was true, and to prepare fruit that could last. You may have thought silence meant I was not speaking, but sometimes I speak through preservation. I speak by keeping you from rushing. I speak by holding back what would have distracted you. I speak by allowing a dream to sleep until the heart carrying it becomes steady enough to walk with wisdom. My silence is not carelessness. My silence can be protection. Remember Joseph and the dreams I gave him when he was young. For years, those dreams seemed buried under betrayal, labor, false accusation, and prison. If someone had judged his life only by what was visible, they would have said the dream had died. But I was not done. I was arranging a future that the pit could not cancel, and the prison could not stop. My beloved child, the same is true for you. What happened against you did not erase what I placed within you. A closed door did not cancel my intention. A long wait did not weaken my promise. A season of silence did not mean I turned away. I have been working in rooms you could not enter in timing, you could not control, and in ways your heart could not yet understand. There are prayers you prayed long ago that you barely remember now. I remember them. There are tears you wiped away quickly because you did not want anyone to notice. I noticed them. There are desires you lowered because disappointment taught you to ask for less. I did not lower my purpose for you. I have been holding what is good, refining what is true, and removing what would have harmed the gift. Do not let the delay make you bury your faith beside the dream. Do not let time convince you that my love has grown distant. Do not let silence become the voice that interprets my heart. Let my character speak louder than your waiting. I am faithful in visible blessings, and I am faithful in hidden preparation. I am God over the harvest, but I am also God over the seed. My beloved child, if something has been quiet in your life, bring it back into my presence without fear. Bring the hope you stopped naming. Bring the promise you stopped expecting. Bring the desire you thought was too tender to touch. I will not shame you for still caring. I will not call you foolish for still hoping. Hope placed in me is never wasted, even when it has been tested by time. Maybe the answer will look different from what you first imagined. Maybe the dream will return with a deeper shape. Maybe I will give you something better than what you once begged me to preserve. But know this, if I transform what you gave me, it is not because I forgot your heart. It is because I love you enough to make the gift fit the person I am forming in you. My beloved child, the quiet place is not empty. It is full of my patience. It is full of hidden roots. It is full of lessons that will support what comes next. It is full of mercy you may only understand later. One day you will look back and see that I was not late in the silence. I was faithful inside it. I have guarded the hidden life with tenderness even when your eyes saw only waiting. So stay with me here. Do not call dead what I have only kept hidden. Do not close your heart to what my breath can awaken. What seems silent has not died. It is resting in my care, waiting for the season I have appointed. And as you begin to understand this, you will see the next truth more clearly. Delay is not abandonment. Delay is preparation in my hands. My beloved child, delay is preparation in my hands. What feels slow to you is not proof that I have stepped away. What feels postponed is not proof that heaven has forgotten your name. I know the waiting has stretched your heart. I know you have looked for signs, listened for answers, and wondered why the door has not opened yet. But I am working. My beloved child, you often measure my faithfulness by speed. If the answer arrives quickly, your heart feels seen. If the door opens soon, you feel encouraged. But when time passes and nothing appears to move, fear begins to whisper that I am silent, distant, or unwilling. That whisper is not my voice. My voice does not use waiting to shame you. My voice uses waiting to strengthen you. There are things I delay because I love you. There are things I hold until your roots are deeper. There are things I do not place in your hands too early because what I am preparing for you must not crush the heart that carries it. A blessing received before maturity can become pressure. A door opened before healing can become confusion. A promise entered too soon can feel heavier than you expected. This is why I prepare you before I promote you. I shape the inner room before I expand the outer life. I steady the heart before I increase the responsibility. I teach patience before I entrust you with what requires endurance. My beloved child, I do not want to give you something your fear will destroy, your wounds will misread, or your impatience will abandon. I prepare you because I intend to preserve you. Remember David, he was anointed long before he sat on the throne. Oil touched his head, but years still stood between the promise and the palace. He returned to fields, he faced battles, he hid in caves. He waited while another king occupied the place that had been spoken over him. Yet the delay did not cancel the anointing. It formed the heart that would carry it. So it is with you. The promise may be real and the process may still be necessary. Do not confuse being prepared with being rejected. Do not confuse hidden formation with lost destiny. I can speak a thing over your life in one season and train you for it in another. The space between the word and the fulfillment is not empty. It is holy ground where I teach you to trust me without visible proof. My beloved child, Scripture says there is a season for everything under heaven. This means timing is not an accident in my kingdom. Seeds have seasons, harvests have seasons, rest has seasons, growth has seasons. Even silence can have a season. You are not behind because you are not moving at the pace of someone else. You are not forgotten because another person's door opened first. Your season is held by my wisdom, not by comparison. I know comparison has tried to wound you. You watched others receive answers while you were still waiting. You watched people move forward while you were still asking for direction. You smiled for them, but inside you wondered if your life had been delayed because you did something wrong. My beloved child, do not let another person's timeline become a weapon against your peace. I know the path I have written for you. The Israelites wanted the promised land quickly, but I used the wilderness to teach them dependence. Not because I enjoyed their discomfort, but because freedom without trust would have led them back into old bondage. I gave manna day by day. I gave water where there should have been none. I guided by cloud and fire. The wilderness was not abandonment. It was a classroom of trust. Your waiting has been teaching you too. It has taught you what you were clinging to. It has revealed where fear was still leading. It has shown you which voices could shake your peace. It has brought hidden desires into the light. It has softened places that had become guarded. It has made your prayers more honest. My beloved child, even when you thought nothing was happening, I was working inside the waiting. Do not despise the slow work. Bread rises slowly before it is ready to feed. Clay must remain in the potter's hands before it takes shape. A child learns balance through many small steps before walking steadily. In the same way, I am forming steadiness in you. I am teaching your soul not to panic when the process is longer than expected. My beloved child, delay is not the absence of my love. Sometimes delay is my love standing between you and what would have harmed you. Sometimes delay is my wisdom arranging what you cannot see. Sometimes delay is my mercy removing the wrong people, closing the wrong paths, and healing the wrong hunger before the right door opens. You may not see protection while it is happening, but one day you will thank me for what I did not allow. There were doors you prayed for that would have led you into confusion. There were relationships you wanted that would have drained your peace. There were opportunities you thought you needed that would have pulled you away from my voice. My beloved child, when I delayed them, I was not being cruel. I was guarding the deeper life I am building within you. I know waiting can feel like weakness. It can make you feel passive, forgotten, or stuck. But waiting with me is not inactivity. Waiting with me is active trust. It is choosing not to run ahead. It is choosing not to force a door. It is choosing not to return to what I have asked you to release. It is placing your heart under my timing, even when your emotions want to hurry. The prophet wrote that those who wait on me will renew their strength. Notice, my beloved child, waiting does not empty you when it is joined to trust. It renews you. It lifts you from the inside. It teaches you to rise without striving. It gives you strength that does not come from control but from surrender. So bring me your impatience. Bring me your tired questions. Bring me the part of you that says, Lord, how much longer? I am not offended by that honesty. I meet you there. I place calm over the urgency. I place wisdom over the pressure. I place hope where disappointment tried to settle. My beloved child, delay is preparation, not abandonment. The door has not opened yet because I am still preparing what is beyond it, and I am still preparing you for what you will carry there. Trust me in the hallway. Trust me in the unfinished chapter. Trust me while the answer is still forming. I have not forgotten you. Stay with me now, because the same God who prepares you in delay also makes a way in darkness. Where you see no road, I can open one. Where you see only shadows, I can place light beneath your feet. My beloved child, where you see no road, I can open one. Where you see only shadows, I can place light beneath your feet. Do not be afraid, because the path ahead is not fully visible. I have never required you to see the whole journey before trusting my hand. I only ask you to take the next step with me. My beloved child, darkness does not confuse me. The night may hide the road from your eyes, but it cannot hide the road from mine. You may stand before uncertainty and feel your heart tighten. You may wonder how the answer will come, how provision will arrive, how peace will return, how the next door will open. But I am not limited by what you can trace. There are places in your life where you have said, Lord, I do not see a way. You have looked at the situation from every angle and found no simple answer. You have considered possibilities and still felt surrounded. You have tried to be brave, but inside you felt like you were walking with only enough light for one breath. My beloved child, I saw you there. I am the God who makes rivers in dry places and paths through wilderness. I am the one who led my people when the sea was in front of them and the enemy was behind them. To their eyes, the story looked trapped. To my eyes, the waters were already listening for my command. What looked impossible became a road because my presence was there. So it is with you. The obstacle before you is not greater than my wisdom. The darkness around you is not stronger than my light. The silence you feel is not proof that nothing is moving. I can prepare a way while you are still asking whether a way exists. I can move before your faith feels steady. I can guide even when your emotions tremble. My beloved child, do not mistake a hidden path for no path. Sometimes I do not show the whole road because your heart would try to run ahead before it is ready. Sometimes I give light in portions, so you learn to walk with me closely. A lamp for the feet does not illuminate the entire mountain. It gives enough light for the next step. That is often how I lead. You want certainty before movement, but I often give presence before certainty. You want a full plan before obedience, but I often give peace for the step in front of you. You want every shadow explained, but I invite you to hold my hand while we walk through them together. My beloved child, faith is not knowing every turn. Faith is trusting the one who knows the end from the beginning. Remember the wise men who followed a star. They did not have every detail. They did not know every mile before they began. They followed the light they had been given, and that light led them toward worship. My beloved child, I can guide you by a small light too. A quiet prompting, a scripture remembered, a door that opens gently, a peace that settles where confusion used to be. I know darkness can make small fears look large. It can make ordinary decisions feel heavy. It can make tomorrow seem like a room filled with unknowns. But I want you to hear me clearly. Darkness is not a place where my power disappears. It is often the place where you learn that my light is not fragile. It does not depend on perfect conditions. It shines because I am there. When Daniel was placed among lions, the night looked dangerous. Yet I was present before the morning came. When Peter was kept in prison chains and guards looked final, yet I sent help at the appointed time. When my people walked through desert places, I became cloud by day and fire by night. My beloved child, I know how to guide in conditions that human eyes call impossible. The way I make may not look like the way you imagined. It may begin with a conversation, a delay, a closed door, a sudden courage, a quiet release, or a new thought that gently changes your direction. Do not reject my guidance because it arrives humbly. Some of my greatest doors begin as small shifts in the heart. My beloved child, I am also making a way inside you. Sometimes you ask me to change the road, and I begin by changing the fear that stands at the entrance. Sometimes you ask me to remove the darkness, and I begin by teaching you that my presence can shine within it. Sometimes you ask me to give an answer, and I first give you the strength to remain peaceful while the answer forms. This inner way matters. I am making a way through confusion into clarity. I am making a way through panic into trust. I am making a way through bitterness into freedom. I am making a way through heaviness into breath. I am making a way through the places where you thought nothing could change. The road outside you is not the only road I am preparing. Do not be ashamed that you need guidance. My children were never created to walk alone. A sheep is safest near the shepherd. A branch is fruitful when it remains connected to the vine. A child rests when the Father's hand is near. My beloved child, dependence on me is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the beginning of peace. So when the darkness feels thick, stop trying to force your eyes to see what only my wisdom can reveal in time. Ask me for the next step. Ask me for courage for today. Ask me for peace for this hour. Ask me to keep your heart soft while the road unfolds. I am not offended by small prayers. I honor the heart that turns toward me. There will be moments when the way opens suddenly. There will be moments when it opens slowly. There will be moments when you only understand after you have walked farther. But every step taken with me becomes part of guidance. Even the steps that feel uncertain can be held by grace. Even the pauses can protect you. Even the waiting can prepare you. My beloved child, I am making a way in the darkness, not because you have perfect faith, but because I am faithful. Not because you have solved everything, but because I am your helper. Not because the path is simple, but because my presence is enough for the path. Keep walking gently. Keep listening. Keep trusting the light I place before you. And as you walk, remember this. The darkness has not defeated you. The unknown has not swallowed you. The lack of visible answers has not erased my plan. I am guiding you step by step, breath by breath, mercy by mercy, even when your heart feels unsure and tired. Stay with me now, because the way I make in darkness will teach you something deeper. Waiting in me is never wasted. My beloved child, waiting in me is never wasted. The pause that feels empty to you can be full of my work. The season that seems slow can be shaping strength you do not yet recognize. You may think nothing is happening because your eyes cannot see movement, but I am not limited to visible things. I work beneath the surface of time. My beloved child, waiting often feels like standing between what was promised and what has not yet appeared. You can remember what I spoke to your heart, but you cannot yet touch the fullness of it. You can feel desire, but not possession. You can sense a doorway ahead, but still stand in the hallway. I know that space can feel uncomfortable, but waiting with me is not punishment. It is not a sign that I have misplaced your prayer. It is not heaven ignoring you while life moves around you. Waiting with me is formation. It is the place where faith stops leaning only on evidence and begins leaning on my character. It is where your roots grow deeper than your emotions. Think of a tree planted beside streams of water. Its fruit appears in season, not every moment. Yet even when fruit is not visible, life is still moving through the trunk. Roots are still drinking. Branches are still being prepared. You are not fruitless because the harvest has not arrived. You are being nourished in hidden places. There are things I can only teach you while you wait. I teach you patience when your desire wants to rush. I teach you discernment when many voices offer shortcuts. I teach you humility when you cannot force the outcome. I teach you trust when the timeline does not answer to your control. I teach you rest when your heart wants to prove that worry is useful. You have asked me to move, and I am moving. But sometimes my movement begins by steadying you. Sometimes I answer by changing what fear has built inside you. Sometimes I prepare the blessing by preparing the person who will receive it. My beloved child, I am not only interested in bringing you to the promise, I am interested in making you whole enough to live there in peace. Remember Abraham, who received a promise beneath a sky filled with stars. The promise was vast, but the waiting was long. Years passed. Questions rose. Human strength faded. Yet my faithfulness did not fade. The appointed child came not by Abraham's control, but by my power. My promises are not weakened by the passing of time. You may feel that time is taking something from you, but in my hands, time can also give. It can give wisdom. It can give maturity. It can give clearer vision. It can reveal motives. It can expose false attachments. It can deepen prayer. It can soften pride. It can teach your soul to desire not only the gift, but the giver. This is why waiting in me is never wasted. Even when the answer has not arrived, your heart is learning. Even when the door remains closed, your spirit is being strengthened. Even when you feel still, I may be removing what would make you unstable. I may be healing what would cause you to mishandle the thing you are asking me to release. My beloved child, do not compare your waiting to another person's arrival. Their season is not the measure of my love for you. Their open door is not proof that your door is forgotten. Their harvest does not mean your field is barren. I tend each life with wisdom. I know the soil, the weather, the roots, the wounds, and the timing that belongs to you. Comparison can turn waiting into torment. It makes you watch someone else's path until you lose sight of my hand on yours. It makes you ask why them and not me, instead of asking what I am forming in you. I do not shame you for those questions. I simply invite you back to my presence, where your timeline can stop fighting their timeline and begin resting in mine. My beloved child, some of the waiting has been protecting you. You wanted an answer quickly, but I saw the hidden cost. You wanted a door to open, but I saw what stood behind it. You wanted a relationship to remain, but I saw how it would drain the life I was restoring. You wanted movement, but I saw that your heart needed healing before the next step. This does not mean the waiting was easy. I do not call your tears small. I do not dismiss the ache of unanswered prayer. I have collected every tear with tenderness. I have heard every late-night question. I have sat with you in the long silence when your courage felt thin. My beloved child, I do not waste tears either. I turn them into deeper compassion and clearer dependence on me. Scripture says those who wait on me will renew their strength, not because waiting itself is comfortable, but because my presence meets the one who waits. Strength rises quietly. Peace returns slowly. Wisdom settles deeper. You begin to notice that you are not as easily moved by fear. You begin to breathe again without needing every answer in place. Waiting with me is not standing still in despair. It is walking slowly with trust. It is doing the next faithful thing. It is praying when feelings are quiet. It is choosing integrity when no one applauds. It is letting your heart stay soft while time passes. It is refusing to take back what you placed in my hands because the process feels longer than you expected. My beloved child, I know you want certainty. I know you want a sign. I know you want to know when the answer will come and how it will look. But there are moments when I give something better than certainty. I give my presence. Certainty can calm the mind for a moment, but my presence can carry your soul through every moment. So let the waiting become a meeting place, not a prison. Let it become a garden, not a grave. Let it become a classroom, not a punishment. Let it become a quiet table where I sit with you and teach you to trust me beyond what you can measure. What you learn here will go with you into the next season. One day you will see that the waiting held more than delay. It held preparation. It held protection. It held unseen mercy. It held the slow strengthening of your faith. It held me. And when you step forward, you will not only receive what I prepared, you will carry a steadier heart into it. Stay with me, my beloved child. Waiting in me is never wasted. It is where your soul learns that I am faithful before the answer, during the silence, and after the door opens. And now in this waiting, I am inviting you into stillness, because the heart that waits with trust can begin to hear the gentle whisper of my voice. My beloved child, the heart that waits with trust can begin to hear the gentle whisper of my voice. I am not always found in noise, urgency, or dramatic signs. I am often near in the quiet breath, the still room, the pause between anxious thoughts, the small peace that rises when you stop trying to control everything. My beloved child, be still and learn to listen. Stillness is not emptiness. It is not weakness. It is not doing nothing while life passes by. Stillness is the place where your soul stops running long enough to notice that I have been speaking with tenderness all along. The world trains you to hurry. Fear trains you to react. My presence teaches you to become quiet enough to receive. You have searched for me in big answers. You have looked for sudden signs, clear outcomes, and doors that open loudly. Sometimes I do speak through obvious movement, but many times I come softly. I come through a scripture that returns to your mind. I come through a calm you cannot explain. I come through conviction that is firm but gentle. I come through a holy pause before you answer from fear. Remember Elijah on the mountain. He expected the power of my presence in the wind, the shaking, and the fire. Yet my voice came in the thin, quiet whisper. My beloved child, I was not less present because I was gentle. I was not less powerful because I was quiet. Sometimes my deepest direction arrives without noise because I want your heart, not just your attention. This is why I am drawing you into stillness. Not to make you afraid of missing me, but to help you recognize me. Many voices have crowded your inner life. The voice of pressure, the voice of disappointment, the voice of comparison, the voice of old wounds, the voice that says, hurry before you fall behind. My voice does not sound like panic. My voice carries peace even when it corrects you. My beloved child, learn the difference. Fear rushes, wisdom steadies, fear condemns. My spirit convicts with hope. Fear says, everything depends on you. My whisper reminds you that I am with you. Fear repeats the worst possibility until your body grows tired. My voice brings you back to what is true, one breath, one step, one moment at a time. Think of young Samuel lying in the temple. He heard his name but did not know it was me. He ran to a human voice because he did not yet recognize the divine call. But with time he learned to answer, speak, Lord, your servant is listening. My beloved child, I am teaching you that same posture. Not striving, not performing, listening. There have been moments when I called you gently, but you dismissed it as a thought, a small nudge to forgive, a quiet pull to rest, a sense that a door was not right for you, a sudden desire to pray, a deep unease when something looked attractive but did not carry peace. You called those things feelings, but sometimes they were my mercy guiding you softly. Do not be discouraged if you have missed my whisper before. I am patient. I know how much noise has surrounded you. I know how fear can imitate urgency. I know how pain can make you suspicious of peace. I am not angry that you are learning. A shepherd does not despise a sheep for needing to recognize his voice. He keeps calling with care until the sheep knows the sound. My beloved child, stillness will help you hear. Begin with honesty. You do not need long, polished prayers. Sit before me and say what is real. Say, Lord, I am listening. Say quiet what is not from you. Say, teach me the sound of your peace. Then wait without forcing a feeling. I am not a machine you control. I am the Father who meets you personally. Sometimes my whisper will not give you the whole answer. It will give you the next faithful step. Call this person, release that burden. Wait before deciding. Apologize. Rest. Open the word. Close that door. Walk away from what disturbs your spirit. Return to what brings holy peace. My beloved child, small obedience to a quiet whisper can protect you from large confusion later. You may ask, how will I know it is you? Look for the fruit. My voice will not lead you into pride, cruelty, chaos, or despair. My voice will not tell you to violate love. My voice will not make you smaller through shame. Even when I correct you, I do not crush you. I lead you toward truth, humility, courage, forgiveness, patience, and peace. The fruit reveals the root. My beloved child, the whisper often comes when you stop arguing with silence. When you stop demanding that I speak in the exact way you expected. When you let the quiet become a meeting place instead of a threat. Your spirit begins to soften. Your breathing slows. Your heart begins to notice that I am near. Then the thing you could not hear in panic becomes clear in peace. There is a holy listening that grows over time. It is formed in repeated moments of returning, morning by morning, night by night, burden by burden, decision by decision. You learn that I am not only the God of great miracles, but also the God of gentle direction. I can guide a life through a whisper as surely as I can part a sea. So do not rush away from stillness. Do not fill every quiet place with noise. Do not fear the pause. Let the pause become a doorway. Let silence become a room where I teach you discernment. Let your heart become like a lamp waiting for flame. I will not leave you in confusion when you are seeking me with sincerity. My beloved child, I am speaking and I will help you hear. Not because you have mastered the spiritual life, not because you never doubt, not because your prayers are perfect, but because you are mine and I delight in guiding my children. Stay close, listen gently, walk slowly when you need to. Peace will help you recognize my path. Even now, my beloved child, I am quieting the places where you have confused love with pressure. I am teaching you that guidance can be gentle and still be certain. You do not have to chase every sign or fear every silence. Come back to the simple place. Breathe. Listen. Let my peace become the sound your soul recognizes first. I will train your heart through patience, kindness, scripture, stillness, and the steady rhythm of trust. And as you learn to hear my whisper, understand this with tenderness. You do not need to become flawless before I call you forward. You do not need to fix every weakness before I open a doorway. The heart that listens does not have to be perfect. It only has to be willing. Stay with me because I am about to show you that you do not need to be perfect to enter. My beloved child, you do not need to be perfect to enter. You do not need to repair every weakness before I call you forward. You do not need to understand every part of my plan before you take the next step. The heart that listens does not have to be flawless. It only has to be willing. My beloved child, I know how often you have stood at the edge of something new and felt unqualified. You looked at your past, your mistakes, your unfinished healing, your scattered thoughts, and you wondered if I would choose someone steadier. You thought perhaps I would wait until you were stronger, cleaner, calmer, wiser, or more deserving. But I do not call my children the way the world chooses people. The world looks for polished strength. I look for an open heart. The world asks for a perfect record. I ask for surrender. The world says you must prove yourself before you are welcomed. I say, come to me and I will teach you as you walk. My beloved child, you are not being invited because you have completed yourself. You are being invited because my grace is able to complete what you cannot finish alone. Remember Moses. When I called him, he did not feel ready. He looked at his weakness and questioned his ability to speak. He saw the size of the task and felt small before it. Yet I did not remove the call because he trembled. I promised my presence. I gave help. I walked with him. My beloved child, your weakness does not surprise me. I already know it, and I still call you. You may think your hesitation disqualifies you, but many of my servants began with trembling. Gideon was hiding when I called him mighty. Jeremiah said he was too young, but I had known him before he was formed. Peter stumbled, spoke too quickly, denied in fear, and yet my mercy restored him. I do not build with perfect people. I build with yielded people. My beloved child, perfection is not the doorway. Trust is. If perfection were required, no one would enter. But grace opens what human effort cannot unlock. Grace takes the tired, the ashamed, the doubtful, the wounded, the unfinished, and says, "Come closer." Not because sin is small, not because healing is unnecessary, but because my love is strong enough to begin where you truly are. Do not wait to bring me a version of yourself that looks easier to love. I already love the real you. I love you while you are learning. I love you while you are returning. I love you while your prayers are uneven and your courage feels thin. I love you when your faith is strong, and I love you when your faith reaches for me with shaking hands. The tax collector in the temple did not stand before me with impressive words. He stood at a distance, aware of his need, and asked for mercy. That honest cry reached heaven. My beloved child, a humble heart can enter places pride never can. You do not need to impress me. You need to be honest with me. I know there are parts of your story you would rather hide before entering the next season. Regrets, delays, wrong turns, words you wish you could take back. Choices that still make your heart ache. But I do not ask you to pretend those things are not real. I ask you to bring them into my light, so they no longer rule you from the shadows. My beloved child, shame tells you to stay away until you are clean. My spirit says, "Come close, and I will wash you." Shame says, "Hide until you are worthy." My voice says, "You are mine, and mercy is waiting." Shame says, "Your weakness proves you cannot move forward." My grace says, "My strength is made perfect where your strength runs out." This does not mean you should ignore growth. I am not calling you to remain unchanged. I am calling you to begin with me, not apart from me. Transformation happens in my presence. Healing happens as you walk with me. Courage grows through obedience. Wisdom forms through daily surrender. You become whole not by standing far away and trying to fix yourself, but by staying near enough for my love to shape you. My beloved child, the doorway before you is not guarded by condemnation. It is held open by mercy. I am not standing there with a list of reasons you cannot come. I am standing there with an invitation. Bring your questions. Bring your tired faith. Bring your guarded hope. Bring the part of you that is afraid to be disappointed again. I can receive all of it. When the prodigal son returned, the father did not make him finish a speech before embracing him. The father ran. He covered shame with love. He restored identity before the son could earn it. My beloved child, that is, my heart. When you turn toward me, I do not move slowly with suspicion. I move with mercy. So stop measuring your readiness only by how strong you feel. Sometimes readiness looks like honesty. Sometimes it looks like one trembling yes. Sometimes it looks like taking a step while still needing help. Sometimes it looks like admitting, "Lord, I cannot do this without you." That prayer is not weakness. It is the beginning of partnership. You are not entering because you know enough. You are entering because I am wise enough. You are not entering because you are steady enough. You are entering because I am faithful enough. You are not entering because your past is clean enough. You are entering because my blood speaks mercy over the past and hope over the future. Look at Esther, who entered a fearful moment without knowing every outcome. She did not hold every answer, yet she stood in the place prepared for her. My beloved child, I can place courage inside an imperfect vessel. I can use a trembling yes to protect many lives. I can turn willingness into a doorway of purpose when the appointed hour arrives before you with grace. My beloved child, let me remove the burden of performance from your shoulders. You have carried it too long. You have tried to be enough for people, enough for expectations, enough for your own harsh judgment. But my invitation is not built on your performance. It is built on my love. Rest there. Come as one who is loved. Come as one who is being restored. Come as one who may still have questions but chooses to trust. Come as one who is unfinished, yet held. Come as one who does not need to hide weakness from the one who already knows how to heal it. Stay with me now, because the next place I want to enter is the very place you have been carrying quietly. The burdens, the worries, the weariness, and the hidden pressure you thought kept you from me are not walls I cannot cross. They are places where my mercy is ready to meet you. My beloved child, the burdens, the worries, the weariness, and the hidden pressure you thought kept you from me are not walls I cannot cross. They are places where my mercy is ready to meet you. You have carried so much quietly, believing that you must become lighter before you can draw near, but I come to the places where you are most weighed down. My beloved child, I do not wait outside your life until you have organized every feeling. I do not stand at a distance until your thoughts are calm and your prayers sound strong. I enter the crowded room of your heart. I enter the place where fear sits beside responsibility, where disappointment sits beside hope, where exhaustion sits beside the desire to keep trusting. You have carried burdens that were never meant to become your identity. You carried family concerns, financial concerns, health concerns, unfinished conversations, unanswered prayers, and decisions that felt too heavy for one heart. You carried the need to appear steady while secretly asking how much longer you could keep moving. My beloved child, I saw the weight before you ever named it. When I say, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened," I am not speaking to people who have already found rest. I am speaking to the tired. I am speaking to the ones whose shoulders feel heavy from doing their best for too long. My invitation is not for the polished. It is for the burdened. My beloved child, you have sometimes hidden your burdens because you feared they would make you seem ungrateful. You told yourself that others had harder lives, so you should stay quiet. You compared your pain and tried to minimize it. But I do not ask you to rank your sorrow before I care for it. A loving father does not wait for a child to prove the heaviness is heavy enough. Bring me what you carry. Bring me the worry that returns at night. Bring me the question you keep pushing aside. Bring me the ache that has become familiar. Bring me the pressure to be strong for everyone else. Bring me the part of you that feels guilty for needing help. My beloved child, you do not need to hide need from the one who came to carry you. Remember Hagar in the wilderness. She felt unseen, alone, and pushed into a place she did not choose. Yet I met her there. I heard the cry. I opened her eyes to provision she had not recognized. My beloved child, I am still the God who sees. I see you in the wilderness of responsibility. I see you when the road feels dry and the heart feels tired. There are places you carry inside that others cannot enter. Memories folded away, disappointments covered with routine, questions that live under the surface of your smile. You may not know how to invite people into those places, and some people may not know how to sit there gently, but I know how to enter without breaking what is tender. I know how to touch without shaming. My beloved child, some of your burdens have become so familiar that you no longer notice how they shape your breathing. You wake already preparing to manage them. You move through the day with them in the background. You rest but do not fully release. You pray but still hold one corner of the burden. Let me speak tenderly to that place. Your grip is not what holds your life together. My faithfulness is. Your worry is not what protects the people you love. My care is greater. Your constant thinking is not what secures the future. My wisdom sees beyond your reach. You are allowed to lay down what you were never created to carry alone. Cast your cares on me because I care for you. Not because I am impatient with your feelings, but because I am strong enough to hold what overwhelms you. Not because your burden is too annoying for heaven, but because you are precious to be crushed by it. My beloved child, surrender is not neglect. Surrender is trust placed in faithful hands. I know you fear that if you stop carrying everything, something will collapse. But some things are not being held up by your anxiety. They are being held in my mercy. Some outcomes are not waiting for you to worry harder. They are waiting for you to trust deeper. Some answers will not be forced open by pressure. They will unfold as you walk with me in peace. My beloved child, when I enter the places you carry, I do not always remove the entire burden in one instant. Sometimes I first remove the loneliness inside it. Sometimes I place breath where panic has been. Sometimes I give wisdom for one decision. Sometimes I send a person. Think of the man lowered through the roof to reach me. He could not bring himself forward alone. Others carried him, and I met him with mercy. My beloved child, there are moments when you also need to be carried by grace. Do not be ashamed of that. Dependence is not disgrace. It is the doorway through which My compassion enters more deeply. I am entering the burden of your responsibility. I am entering the pressure of your waiting. I am entering the concern that has lived in your chest for too long. I am entering the grief you folded away because life kept demanding movement. I am entering the place where you have felt alone, even among people. You do not need to clean the burden before bringing it. You do not need to explain it perfectly. You do not need to make it sound spiritual. Just open your heart. Say, my God, this is what I have been carrying. Say, I need you here. Say, I cannot hold this the old way anymore. My beloved child, that honesty becomes a doorway. And when I enter, I bring more than comfort. I bring order to what feels tangled. I bring light to what feels hidden. I bring rest to what has been overworked. I bring truth to the lies that grew in silence. I bring my presence, and my presence changes the atmosphere of whatever it touches. My beloved child, the places you carry are not too crowded for me. The burdens are not too complex. The weariness is not too old. The worry is not too repetitive. I have patience for what you have struggled to say. I have mercy for what you have struggled to release. I have strength for the places where yours feels gone. So let me enter. Not only the part of you that still believes, but the part that is tired. Not only the part that prays, but the part that wonders. Not only the part that hopes, but the part that buried hope because it hurt too much to keep expecting. Stay with me, because next I will speak to those hidden dreams you thought were forgotten, the prayers you stopped naming, and the quiet longings I am still holding in my hands. My beloved child, I will now speak to the hidden dreams you thought were forgotten, the prayers you stopped naming, and the quiet longings I am still holding in my hands. You buried some of them because disappointment became too painful to touch. You placed others in silence because hoping again felt like opening a tender place. But I have not forgotten what your heart once entrusted to me. My beloved child, there are dreams you no longer speak about because time made them feel distant. There are prayers you once whispered with tears, but now you barely mention them because you do not want to feel the ache of waiting again. You told yourself maybe it was too late. Maybe it was not meant for you. Maybe you should want less so you would not hurt so much. But listen gently. A dream hidden from people is not hidden from me. A prayer no longer spoken is not erased from my memory. A longing buried under years of responsibility still has a sound in my presence. I heard it when it first rose from your heart. I heard it when your voice trembled. I heard it when you stopped asking but kept carrying the ache. Think of Sarah, who heard a promise when human possibility seemed closed. Her laughter carried the pain of waiting too long, the disbelief that comes when hope feels unsafe. Yet I was not limited by the age of her body or the silence of her years. What seemed impossible to her was still alive in my promise. My beloved child, I am not restricted by the calendar that discourages you. Some of what you have hidden is not selfish desire. It is a holy longing that I allowed to awaken because I placed purpose inside you. The desire for restoration, the desire for peace in your home, the desire to serve, to create, to belong, to be useful, to love without fear, to live with meaning. These longings may have gone quiet, but quiet does not mean dead. My beloved child, I have seen you lower your expectations to protect yourself. You stopped looking at certain doors. You stopped imagining certain possibilities. You stopped speaking with excitement about what once made your spirit feel alive. You became practical. You became careful. You became guarded. And while wisdom can be good, fear can also dress itself as wisdom and teach the heart to stop dreaming. I am not asking you to chase fantasy. I am asking you to bring me the real dream, the one that still carries peace beneath the fear. Let me separate what came from pressure from what came from purpose. Let me remove what was rooted in comparison and keep what was planted by my spirit. My beloved child, I know how to purify a dream without destroying it. Remember Joseph. His dreams brought him into a long road he did not understand. The pit did not look like preparation. The prison did not look like promise. The silence between the dream and the fulfillment was not short. Yet I held the dream through every dark place. I did not lose it when others betrayed him. I did not lose it when years passed. I brought it forth at the appointed time. So it is with you. What I placed within you cannot be canceled by delay, disappointment, or the misunderstanding of others. People may have laughed at your hope. Life may have pressed you into survival. Your own heart may have said, "Stop expecting." But my beloved child, I can preserve what is mine, even when you no longer know how to hold it. There are dreams I keep hidden because they need deeper roots. There are answers I delay because your heart needs healing before joy can be received without fear. There are doors I do not open yet because I am still preparing the people, the place, the timing, and the strength you will need. I am not careless with what matters to you. You may ask why I would let a dream sleep for so long. My beloved child, sometimes sleep protects what striving would exhaust. Sometimes hiddenness shelters what exposure would damage. Sometimes waiting removes the need to prove yourself so that when the gift comes, you receive it with gratitude instead of fear. I am not only preparing the dream, I am preparing the soul that will carry it. Think of the seed beneath winter soil. Nothing on the surface tells the full story. The ground may look still, but life is being kept where cold cannot destroy it. Roots are learning depth before leaves appear. Strength is forming before beauty is shown. My beloved child, I have held certain dreams in a winter of mercy, not to deny them, but to protect their life until the season can sustain them. Bring those dreams back to me, not with panic, not with demanding, not with the old fear that says now or never. Bring them with open hands. Say, Lord, if this came from you, keep it, cleanse it, and bring it forth in your time. Say, if it must change, reshape it. Say, if it must wait, strengthen me. Say, if you have something better, make my heart ready. My beloved child, I am gentle with buried hope. I do not rip it from the soil. I water it with truth. I warm it with presence. I remove the stones of shame, comparison, and fear. I breathe over the places you thought had become too dry. The prophet saw dry bones and thought only death remained, but when my breath entered, life stood again. I can breathe over what looks dry in you. Do not be ashamed that part of you still hopes. Hope is not foolish when it rests in me. Hope is not denial. Hope is trust that my final word is greater than the season you can see. Hope says the buried thing may still belong to God. Hope says silence may be shelter. Hope says delay may be design. Hope says the story is not finished. My beloved child, some dreams will return exactly as I promised. Some will return transformed. Some will be exchanged for something deeper, wiser, and more aligned with who I am making you become. Trust me with that. I am not here to mock your longing. I am here to shepherd it. I am here to keep what is holy and release what would harm you. Even now, my mercy is guarding the small flame you thought had gone out inside your heart. So let your heart soften again. Let the place that stopped expecting breathe. Let the prayer you buried rise gently into my hands. I remember, I hold, I prepare. The dream may be hidden, but it is not abandoned. Stay with me now because I am about to show you something even deeper. I do not only remember what you have prayed, I preserve what truly belongs to you. What is held in my hands cannot be stolen by time delayed by fear or destroyed by the seasons you did not understand. My beloved child, what is held in my hands cannot be stolen by time delayed by fear or destroyed by seasons you did not understand. I preserve what belongs to you. I do not misplace what I have promised. I do not forget what I have planted. I do not lose what your heart entrusted to me. My beloved child, you have looked at certain parts of your life and wondered if too much time has passed. You have wondered if an opportunity disappeared, if a door closed forever, if a prayer became too old to matter, if a dream became too quiet to be real. But I am not bound by the weakness of human memory. What you forget under pressure, I remember with love. There are things I preserve by keeping them hidden. This may be difficult for you to understand because hiddenness can feel like loss. But think of treasure placed in a safe place until the appointed day. It is not gone because it is unseen. It is not worthless because it is covered. It is being protected from the wrong hands, the wrong season, the wrong weight, and the wrong timing. My beloved child, I have preserved relationships, purposes, gifts, and answers in ways you could not recognize. I have preserved your heart when disappointment tried to harden it. I have preserved your faith when weariness tried to drain it. I have preserved your calling when confusion made you question yourself. Even when you felt scattered, I was gathering what belonged to my purpose. Remember the basket that carried Moses on the river. To human eyes, it looked fragile, floating among danger. Yet my hand was guiding what looked vulnerable. I preserved his life before he understood his calling. I moved through water timing and unexpected people to protect what belonged to my plan, my beloved child. I can guard what concerns you, even when it seems exposed. You may think preservation always feels safe, but sometimes preservation happens in places that feel uncertain. Joseph was preserved in Egypt, though the road there was painful. Ruth was preserved through loss and relocation, though she did not know a future was being prepared in a field. Daniel was preserved in a den, though morning had not yet come. My protection does not always remove you from difficulty. Sometimes it keeps you through it. My beloved child, do not judge my preservation only by comfort. I may preserve your peace by closing a door you wanted. I may preserve your future by removing a voice that confused you. I may preserve your purpose by slowing a desire that was growing faster than your wisdom. I may preserve your heart by teaching you to rest before you run again. There were things you thought I took from you, but I was actually keeping you from what would have taken more. There were delays you thought were punishment, but they were protection. There were endings you thought proved rejection, but they were mercy making room. One day you will see that my no was not emptiness. It was a fence around something precious. My beloved child, I know you do not always feel protected while protection is happening. A closed door can still hurt. A delayed answer can still ache. A quiet season can still feel lonely. I do not deny that. I am tender with your disappointment, but do not let the pain of the process convince you that my heart is against you. I preserve because I love. The psalm says, I watch over the coming and going of my children. Let that truth rest on you. I have watched over steps you thought were random. I have watched over conversations you forgot. I have watched over tears you hid. I have watched over decisions you did not know how to make. I have watched over what you carried, and I have watched over what you had to release. My beloved child, what belongs to you in my will does not need to be chased in panic. It will not be lost because you could not force it. It will not disappear because you are still learning. It will not pass you by because your healing took time. What is truly mine for you will be kept by my faithfulness and released by my wisdom. This does not mean you do nothing. It means you move with trust instead of fear. You remain faithful in the small things. You keep your heart open. You obey the light you have. You refuse to grasp what I have asked you to place in my hands. You let me be the keeper not only of your life, but of your timing. My beloved child, I am preserving more than circumstances. I am preserving your soul. I am keeping you from becoming bitter. I am keeping your tenderness alive. I am keeping your ability to hear me. I am keeping the part of you that still believes kindness matters, faith matters, prayer matters, love matters. The enemy wanted pain to make you cold, but I have been guarding the warmth within you. Think of Peter after failure. He may have believed his place was gone. Shame may have told him he had lost what belonged to him, but I preserved his calling through mercy. When I restored him, I did not speak to him as discarded. I spoke to him as one still held. My beloved child, your stumbles cannot steal what my mercy knows how to restore. I also preserve what is still becoming. A potter does not throw away clay because it is unfinished. A gardener does not abandon the vine because fruit has not yet appeared. A shepherd does not forget the sheep because it wandered into rough ground. I know how to keep what is mine while I shape it, prune it, guide it, and bring it home. My beloved child, some things you thought were lost are simply waiting for the right form. I may not return everything exactly as it was. I may bring it back wiser, deeper, cleaner, and more aligned with my purpose. Trust me with the form. Trust me with the season. Trust me with the way I choose to reveal what I have been keeping. You are safe to release panic. You are safe to stop rehearsing the fear that everything good will leave you. You are safe to believe that my hands are stronger than time, stronger than delay, stronger than disappointment, and stronger than the plans of people. What belongs to my purpose cannot be destroyed by what opposed it. So rest in my keeping. Let your heart breathe. Let the hidden things remain in my care until the appointed time. I have preserved what belongs to you, and I have preserved you for what belongs to my purpose. Stay with me now, my beloved child, because the next truth is one you must receive deeply. What I preserve in you is not based on what you achieve, prove, or produce. Your worth is not your success. Your worth is not your recognition. Your worth is rooted in me. My beloved child, your worth is rooted in me. It is not held in what you achieve, prove, produce, or complete. It does not rise when people praise you, and it does not fall when people misunderstand you. Before you did anything impressive, before anyone noticed your effort, before success or failure touched your story, I called you mine. My beloved child, you have lived in a world that measures constantly. It measures status, income, appearance, influence, speed, talent, results, and applause. It teaches the heart to ask, am I doing enough? Am I far enough? Am I useful enough? Am I seen enough? But I do not weigh you on the scales of human approval. I know your soul before your work is counted. I saw you before you had anything to show. I saw you in hidden beginnings, in ordinary days, in quiet rooms, in moments when you wondered if your life mattered. You may have felt small, but you were never insignificant to me. The same God who formed the stars also formed the details of your heart with intention. I do not create without love. Scripture says that I looked upon what I made and called it very good. My beloved child, that word of goodness is not only over mountains, oceans, and skies, it is also over the life I breathed into you. Your worth did not begin when you became productive. It began in my design, in my gaze, in my decision to create you with meaning. I know how tired you are from trying to earn a place. You have tried to be strong enough, helpful enough, patient enough, successful enough, spiritual enough, pleasing enough. You have carried the pressure to prove that you deserve love, respect, peace, and belonging. But love that must be earned through performance becomes a cage, and I did not create you to live inside that cage. My beloved child, achievement can be good when it flows from purpose, but it becomes heavy when it is used as proof of worth. Work can bless others. Discipline can shape your life. Faithfulness in small things matters to me. But none of these are the foundation of my love for you. They are fruit, not roots. Your root is belonging to me. When you forget this, even success cannot rest your heart. You reach one goal and immediately fear losing it. You receive approval and then worry about keeping it. You finish one task and feel pressure to begin another before your soul has breathed. That is not the peace I desire for you. I want you to live from love, not for love. Remember the prodigal son. When he returned with shame, he believed his worth had become smaller than his failure. He wanted to come back as a servant because he could no longer imagine himself as a son. But the father ran to him, embraced him, clothed him, and restored him. My beloved child, identity came before performance. Love met him before he could earn anything. So it is with you. I do not wait for you to achieve your way back into sonship or daughterhood. You are my child because of my love, not because of your record. Your mistakes may need healing. Your choices may need correction. Your path may need redirection. But your worth is not erased by the places where you stumbled. My beloved child, people may have spoken over you with careless words. They may have made you feel like you were only valuable when you helped, gave, succeeded, agreed, smiled, or stayed silent. They may have loved you in ways that felt conditional. I saw what that did inside you. I saw how you began to measure yourself by usefulness. I saw how your heart learned to ask, what must I do to be wanted? Let me speak truth into that wound. You are not valuable because you are needed. You are not loved because you are useful. You are not safe because you keep everyone pleased. You are valuable because you are mine. You are loved because my heart is steadfast. You are held because my mercy does not change when human opinions do. I want to free you from the fear of being unseen. I see the effort no one clapped for. I see the kindness that cost you something. I see the prayers whispered in tiredness. I see the patience you showed when your own heart needed care. I see the small obedience, the quiet sacrifice, the courage to continue. But even these do not purchase my love. They are simply seen by the one who already loves you. My beloved child, there will be seasons when you produce much, and seasons when you feel as if you can barely move forward. There will be fruitful seasons and quiet seasons, strong seasons and tender seasons. Do not let changing capacity become the measure of unchanging worth. I know some days you look at your life and see what has not happened, the dream not fulfilled, the door not opened, the relationship not restored, the goal not reached, the strength not returned. And because you see unfinished things, you feel like an unfinished person. But my beloved child, being unfinished does not mean being unloved. It means I am still working. Peter thought failure had defined him. He had spoken boldly and fallen painfully. Yet when I restored him, I did not begin with a list of achievements. I asked about love. Do you love me? That question reached deeper than performance. It reached the heart. My beloved child, I am still more interested in your returning heart than your perfect record. Let your worth settle in a quieter place, not in numbers, not in praise, not in recognition, not in comparison, not in how much you can carry for others. Let it settle in my voice calling you beloved. Let it settle in the truth that I have called you by name. Let it settle in the mercy that finds you before you fix yourself. You can still grow from this place. You can still build, serve, create, learn, and obey. But now you will do it without begging achievement to tell you who you are. You will work from identity, not for identity. You will give from love, not from fear. You will rest without guilt, because your worth is not suspended while you sleep. My beloved child, receive this. You are not your success. You are not your failure. You are not your delay. You are not the applause you received or the rejection you endured. You are not the season that disappointed you. You are not the opinion that wounded you. You are mine, and that truth stands when everything else shifts. Stay with me now, because once you stop measuring your worth by achievement, I can begin removing the false labels you have carried for too long. The names life gave you the names, fear gave you the names, shame whispered over you, and the names people attached to your pain are not your true identity. I will speak a better name over you. My beloved child, I will speak a better name over you. The names life gave you the names, fear gave you the names, shame whispered over you, and the names people attached to your pain are not your true identity. I am removing the false labels that have clung to your heart longer than they were meant to remain. My beloved child, you have carried labels in silence: failure, too late, not enough, forgotten, unwanted, weak, behind, broken beyond repair. Some were placed on you by careless words. Some were formed by painful seasons. Some were accepted because disappointment repeated itself until you began to believe it was telling the truth. But a lie does not become my voice. I know the moment certain labels first touched you. I remember the sentence someone spoke that stayed longer than it should have. I remember the rejection that made you question your value. I remember the mistake that made you think one chapter had named the whole story. I remember when your own thoughts became harsh toward you. I saw it, but I did not agree with the label. I did not call you what fear called you. I did not call you what failure called you. I did not call you what rejection called you. I called you mine. I called you beloved. I called you chosen. I called you held. I called you a work shaped by mercy. Scripture says, I have called you by name, and you are mine. That is not a light word. That is identity, spoken from eternity into the places where human voices caused confusion. When I call you mine, I am declaring ownership, love, protection, and purpose. No false label has authority greater than my voice. My beloved child, the world often labels what it does not understand. It looks at quietness and calls it weakness. It looks at tenderness and calls it fragility. It looks at delay and calls it failure. It looks at hidden growth and calls it nothing. But I see beneath the surface. I see courage under your quietness. I see endurance beneath your tenderness. I see preparation inside your delay. Think of Jacob. People knew him by a name connected to grasping and struggle. His story carried conflict, mistakes, and striving. Yet when he wrestled through the night and would not let go, I gave him a new name. I did not deny his past, but I spoke a future over him that was greater than the old definition. My beloved child, I can rename what life tried to reduce. I can take the place where you were called rejected and speak accepted. I can take the place where you were called damaged and speak restored. I can take the place where you were called forgotten and speak remembered. I can take the place where you were called weak and speak strengthened by grace. I can take the place where you were called lost and speak found. Let me peel those labels away gently. Some of them have been attached so long that removing them feels unfamiliar. You may not know who you are without them yet. You may have built habits around them, protected yourself through them, made choices from them, and expected less because of them. But I did not create you to live under a name that came from pain. There is a difference between acknowledging what happened and letting it define you. Yes, you may have failed, but you are not failure. Yes, you may have been hurt, but you are not merely wounded. Yes, you may have waited, but you are not forgotten. Yes, you may have been misunderstood, but you are not invisible to me. My truth separates the event from your identity. Remember the woman at the well. Others may have seen her through her history, her relationships, her reputation, and her loneliness. But I met her with truth and mercy. I did not pretend her story was untouched by pain, yet I did not leave her trapped inside it. I offered living water. I turned a hidden woman into a witness. My beloved child, my grace can do the same with you. I do not remove false labels by shouting over your pain. I remove them by bringing you into the light of my love. As you sit with me, the old words begin to lose their grip. As you hear my truth again and again, shame grows weaker. As you let my presence touch the memories attached to those names, your heart begins to realize that you were never what hurt called you. My beloved child, some labels came from comparison. You looked at others and called yourself behind. You saw their harvest and called yourself barren. You heard their confidence and called yourself small. But you do not grow by becoming someone else. You grow by becoming the person I formed. A lily is not ashamed because it is not a cedar. A stream is not worthless because it is not an ocean. I shaped you with intention. Your pace, your tenderness, your story, your gifts, your longing for meaning, your quiet resilience, all of these are known to me. Do not reject what I placed in you because it does not look like what I placed in another. The label of less than was never from me. My beloved child, there are also labels you placed on yourself after disappointment. You called yourself foolish for hoping. You called yourself naive for trusting. You called yourself weak for needing time to heal. But I call your hope precious. I call your trust something I can restore with wisdom. I call your healing sacred. I call your tenderness worth protecting. Let me speak. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too complicated. You are not too far behind. You are not abandoned. You are not disqualified. You are not a burden to me. You are my beloved child, and I know how to finish the work I began in you. When I remove a false label, I also teach you to stop returning to it. You cannot keep agreeing with shame and expect peace to grow. You cannot keep repeating what fear said and expect faith to breathe freely. Speak truth gently over yourself. Say, I am loved by God. Say, I am being restored. Say, I am not defined by what wounded me. Say, I belong to the one who calls me by name. My beloved child, this is not pride. This is agreement with my truth. Humility is not hating yourself. Humility is receiving what I say without arguing with my love. When you accept the name I speak over you, you stop needing the world to prove your worth and stop allowing pain to decide your identity. Stay with me now because as the false labels fall, your heart becomes ready for the next step. You will learn to obey not from fear, but from trust. You will learn to release what I ask you to release. Follow where I lead and walk forward without the old names pulling you backward. My beloved child, as the false labels fall, your heart becomes ready for the next step. You will learn to obey not from fear, but from trust. You will learn to release what I ask you to release. Follow where I lead and walk forward without the old names pulling you backward. My beloved child, obedience is not the heavy chain you once imagined. It is not me standing over you with anger, demanding that you move without tenderness. Obedience is the quiet act of placing your hand in mine when you do not see the whole road. It is trust with movement. It is love choosing direction. You have sometimes feared obedience because you thought it meant losing everything you care about. You thought surrender meant emptiness. You thought release meant I would take from you and leave you with less. But I do not ask you to release because I delight in loss. I ask you to release because some things become too heavy when they are held outside my wisdom. My beloved child, the hands that cling cannot easily receive. The heart that refuses to release can remain tied to what drains it even while praying for peace. Some things you hold are not evil, but they are not yours to carry in that way. Some concerns are real, but they were never meant to become your master. Some desires are precious, but they must rest in me before they can become safe. Think of Abraham walking with Isaac up the mountain. He did not understand everything. He could not see the provision waiting ahead. Yet he trusted me with what was most precious. And in the place of surrender, he discovered that I am the God who provides. My beloved child, I do not lead you into release to abandon you. I meet you there with provision you could not create. Obedience often begins in a small place. a quiet yes, a guarded no, a choice to forgive, a decision to stop returning to what breaks your peace, a willingness to wait instead of forcing the door, a moment where you choose prayer before reaction. These small acts matter. Heaven sees what people overlook. My beloved child, you may want obedience to feel easy before you offer it, but obedience often comes while your feelings are still trembling. Faith does not always wait until fear disappears. Faith says, Lord, I am afraid, but I trust you more than the fear. Faith says, I cannot see the whole road, but I believe your hand is steady. Faith says, I will walk by faith and not by sight. There are areas where I have been gently asking you to release control. The outcome you keep replaying, the person you keep trying to fix, the approval you keep chasing, the timeline you keep demanding, the regret you keep punishing yourself with. My beloved child, control promises safety but often becomes exhaustion. Trust feels vulnerable, but it leads to rest. When I ask you to release something, I am also inviting you to receive something deeper. Release resentment and receive freedom. Release panic and receive peace. Release comparison and receive contentment. Release the need to prove yourself and receive identity. Release the future into my hands and receive strength for today. My beloved child, obedience is not always loud. Sometimes it looks like staying quiet when anger wants to speak. Sometimes it looks like telling the truth with gentleness. Sometimes it looks like resting when your pride wants to keep proving. Sometimes it looks like taking responsibility for what is yours while leaving what is not yours in my hands. Remember Mary at my feet, listening while many things felt urgent around her. She chose the better portion not because work was worthless, but because presence came first. My beloved child, obedience sometimes means choosing my presence over pressure. It means slowing down enough to know whether you are being led by love or driven by fear. There will be times when I ask you to move and times when I ask you to wait. Both can be obedience. Moving before I lead can become striving. Waiting when I have spoken can become resistance. This is why you need my voice more than your own urgency. I will teach you the rhythm step by step if you remain close. My beloved child, do not confuse surrender with giving up. Surrender is not hopelessness. Surrender is hope placed in the right hands. It is not the closing of your heart. It is the opening of your heart to my wisdom. It is saying, Lord, I still care, but I will not worship what I cannot control. There is peace on the other side of obedience that cannot be found through argument. You may not understand every reason at first. You may not see the fruit immediately, but the soul begins to breathe when it stops fighting my guidance. The burden becomes lighter when you stop trying to be God over your own life. I know obedience can feel costly. I know release can feel like grief. I do not mock the ache of letting go. I sit with you in it. I strengthen you in it. I remind you that anything placed in my hands is not lost to my care. What must be removed, I remove with purpose. What must be restored, I restore with wisdom. What must be transformed, I transform with love. My beloved child, the path of obedience is narrow, but it is not lonely. I walk with you. I guide you. I correct without crushing. I lead without abandoning. I give enough light for the step I am asking you to take. You do not need to obey perfectly to begin. You need to begin honestly, and let me teach you as you go. So place before me what you have held too tightly. The fear, the plan, the expectation, the pain, the person, the dream, the answer you wanted in your own timing. Place it in my hands and breathe. Say, Lord, I trust you with this. Say, lead me in the way that gives life. Say, make my heart willing where it has been afraid. This is how trust becomes more than a thought. It becomes a path beneath your feet, a quiet strength in your choices, and a steady surrender that teaches your heart to live without fear of what I ask you to place before me. And I will be there faithful in every step you take with me today. My beloved child, obedience is trust and release. It is the doorway through which your soul becomes lighter. It is the daily yes that frees you from the prison of control. It is how I move you from old labels into living identity, from fear into peace, from striving into companionship with me. Stay close now, because when you obey from trust and release what I ask you to place in my hands, something deeper begins to happen. I do not only change the direction of your steps, I transform you from within, shaping the heart that will carry the next season. My beloved child, I am shaping the heart that will carry the next season. I do not only change the direction of your steps, I transform you from within. I reach deeper than circumstances, deeper than habits, deeper than the parts of your life that other people can see. I come to the inner place where fear, hope, memory, desire, and faith have been living together. My beloved child, you have often asked me to change what surrounds you. You asked for doors to open pressure, to lift answers to come and burdens to become lighter. I hear those prayers. I care about those circumstances. But I also know that if I changed everything around you without healing what is inside you, the same emptiness could follow you into a new place. That is why I begin within. I touch the root before the fruit. I cleanse the spring before the stream. I steady the foundation before the house rises. I do not come only to rearrange the outside of your life. I come to renew the hidden chambers of your soul so that when the next season arrives, you will not carry old fear into new mercy. Scripture says, I give a new heart and place a new spirit within. My beloved child, this is not a small work. This is not surface improvement. This is not a temporary comfort that fades when the day becomes difficult again. This is transformation. I am taking what pain twisted, what disappointment hardened, what waiting drained, and what fear confused, and I am making room for life again. You may not always notice this work while it is happening. Inner transformation can be quiet. It may look like choosing peace where you once reacted from panic. It may feel like a softer answer where bitterness used to speak. It may appear as patience in a place that once produced frustration. It may be the simple moment when you realize you no longer need to prove yourself to be loved. My beloved child, do not despise small signs of change. A mustard seed is small, yet I spoke of faith that can move what seems immovable. A little yeast works through the whole dough, though it is hidden at first. A small flame can warm a cold room. In the same way, one quiet act of surrender can begin changing the atmosphere of your entire inner life. Remember the potter and the clay. The clay does not understand every turn of the hand, every pressure, every reshaping. It may feel like losing form, but in the potter's hands it is becoming something able to hold purpose. My beloved child, I am not crushing you. I am forming you. I am not discarding you. I am shaping you with patience. There are parts of you that have been living from old survival. You learn to expect disappointment. You learn to guard tenderness. You learn to measure safety by control. You learn to appear fine while your heart carried quiet questions. I am entering those patterns with mercy. I am not angry that you learned them. I understand why they formed, but I love you too much to let them rule you forever. My beloved child, transformation does not mean you stop being yourself. It means you become more truly the person I designed beneath fear, shame, striving, and wounds. I am not erasing your story. I am redeeming it. I am not removing your tenderness. I am protecting it with wisdom. I am not taking away your sensitivity. I am teaching it to rest in truth instead of fear. Look at Peter. He was bold, impulsive, devoted, and afraid. His failure did not end his calling. When I restored him, I did not create a different man with no history. I healed the man before me and gave his love a steadier form. My beloved child, I can take what is sincere in you and make it stronger, wiser, and more peaceful. There are things I am transforming, even now. I am changing the way you hear silence, see, delay, respond to weakness, and understand yourself. I am teaching you that quiet does not always mean rejection, that waiting can prepare, that need can become a doorway to grace, and that your soul can agree with my love. Do not rush this work. Growth that reaches the deepest places often moves slowly. Roots do not grow by being shouted at. Wounds do not heal by being denied. A heart does not become whole by pretending it is untouched. Let me work gently, consistently, faithfully. Let me return to the same place as many times as mercy requires. I am not impatient with your process. My beloved child, you may feel tender while I transform you. Do not mistake tenderness for danger. When numb places begin to feel again, the soul may tremble. When truth enters a room that has been closed for years, tears may come. When peace begins to replace control, you may feel unsure at first. That does not mean you are going backward. It means life is returning. Transformation is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is the courage to rest. Sometimes it is the decision to stop rehearsing old shame. Sometimes it is forgiving slowly with my help. Sometimes it is asking for wisdom before answering. Sometimes it is letting joy visit without suspicion. Sometimes it is breathing deeply and realizing you are not the same person fear once commanded. My beloved child, I am creating steadiness within you. Not hardness, not pride, not distance, steadiness. A heart that can love without losing itself. A spirit that can wait without despair. A mind that can face uncertainty without surrendering to panic. A soul that can walk through blessing without being ruled by the old fear of losing it. This is why I must transform you from within before some things around you change. I want the blessing to meet a healed place, not a frightened one. I want the open door to be entered with peace, not desperation. I want the answered prayer to deepen your worship, not become another thing you fear losing. My work inside you is mercy, preparing you for what is ahead. So let me continue. Let me renew the thoughts you repeat. Let me soften what disappointment hardened. Let me strengthen what exhaustion weakened. Let me breathe into the places where hope has been quiet. I am not only helping you survive the season, I am making you new within it. My beloved child, stay close to this inner work. Do not demand only outward proof while I am building something eternal inside you. The visible change will come in my time, but the hidden transformation is holy. It is evidence of my hand. It is already grace moving through the rooms of your heart. And as I transform you from within, you will begin to understand the places you once called valleys differently. The hard road, the deep shadow, and the climb that made you tired were not empty. Stay with me now, because I am about to show you that the valley has purpose. My beloved child, the valley has purpose. The hard road, the deep shadow, and the climb that made you tired were not empty. You may have walked through seasons where every step felt slower than the one before it, and you wondered if the path had lost meaning. But I was there, and I was not wasting the valley. My beloved child, valleys can feel hidden. Mountains are seen from far away, but valleys are walked in quiet places where few people notice the cost. You may have carried your questions there. You may have carried your disappointment there. You may have carried a faith that still loved me, yet did not always understand what I was allowing. I saw every step. Do not believe the valley means you are off course. Sometimes the valley is part of the road I use to deepen you. It is where shallow confidence becomes rooted trust. It is where borrowed faith becomes personal faith. It is where the soul stops depending on noise and begins listening for my presence in the quiet. The psalm says that even when my child walks through the valley of shadow, I am there. My beloved child, notice that I did not say you would never walk through dark places. I said you would not walk through them alone. My staff comforts. My guidance does not disappear when the path becomes low. There were times when you thought the valley was only loss. You saw what was stripped away. You saw the delay, the silence, the closed doors, the strength that felt thinner than before. But I saw what was being formed. I saw endurance growing under pressure. I saw compassion awakening through pain. I saw humility replacing the need to control everything. My beloved child, I do not create every valley you walk through, but I can meet you in every valley and bring purpose from what tried to discourage you. I can turn rough ground into a classroom of grace. I can turn lonely places into altars of encounter. I can turn seasons that felt hidden into places where your heart learns that I am enough. Think of David before the throne. He knew fields before crowns. He knew caves before honor. He knew danger waiting and misunderstanding. Yet in those hidden places I shaped the shepherd heart that would one day lead my people. The cave did not cancel the calling. The wilderness did not erase the anointing. The valley trained what the palace could not teach. So it is with you. Some lessons cannot be learned when everything is easy. Some strength cannot be formed when every road is smooth. Some mercy cannot become deep until the heart has needed mercy. Some trust cannot become steady until it has stood in places where support felt small. My beloved child, the valley has been teaching you what comfort alone could not teach. I know it hurt. I know you grew tired. I know there were moments when you did not want another lesson, another test, another delay, another quiet place. I do not speak of purpose to dismiss your pain. I speak of purpose because pain will not have the final word over you. What wounded you will not define the meaning of your story. My beloved child, in the valley I have been removing illusions. The illusion that you must always be strong. The illusion that you must understand everything before trusting me. The illusion that my love is proven only by ease. The illusion that a difficult season means I have stepped back. I have been teaching you a truer foundation. A valley teaches dependence. When the light seems dim, you learn to follow the shepherd. When the road bends, you learn to listen for my voice. When strength feels low, you learn that my grace is sufficient. When you cannot see the summit, you learn to trust the hand that guides you. Remember Elijah under the broom tree, exhausted and discouraged. I did not shame him for weariness. I gave him rest. I gave him food. I met him with tenderness. My beloved child, I know how to care for you in low places. I do not demand that you climb while your soul is faint. I restore before I redirect. There is purpose even in the pace of the valley. You may want to rush out, but I may be teaching you to walk slowly with me. You may want immediate answers, but I may be teaching you to receive daily bread. You may want the whole map, but I may be giving light for the next step so your heart stays close. My beloved child, the valley is not where I forget your name. It is often where you learn the sound of mine. You learn me as comforter, not only provider. You learn me as keeper, not only opener of doors. You learn me as shepherd, not only giver of promises. You learn my nearness in ways that high places cannot reveal. Do not be ashamed of valley seasons. They have made you more tender toward others who struggle. They have given your words weight because they come from lived trust, not empty theory. They have taught you to recognize quiet pain in another person. They have made you slower to judge and quicker to pray. My beloved child, that is not wasted suffering. That is grace becoming compassion. One day you will look back and see that I carried you through more than you understood. The moment you thought you would collapse, I held you. The day you kept going with a tired heart, I strengthened you. The prayer you whispered without confidence, I received. The tears you did not show, I honored. The valley was not empty. It was filled with my hidden faithfulness. My beloved child, the valley also prepares your voice. A person who has never walked through shadows may speak of light, but one who has found me in shadows speaks with a different depth. Your testimony will not be polished by perfection. It will be made powerful by honesty. You will be able to say, I walked through darkness and God did not leave me there. So keep walking with me. Do not curse the valley. Do not call it meaningless. Do not let weariness convince you that nothing good can grow there. I am bringing streams into low places. I am planting hope where fear tried to settle. I am making the road beneath your feet part of a story that will one day encourage someone else. My beloved child, the valley has purpose because I am with you in it, shaping you through it and leading you beyond it. What felt like a hidden road will become revelation. What felt like weakness will become compassion. What felt like delay will become wisdom. What felt like silence will become testimony. Stay close, because the next truth is tender. The story I have been shaping in you is not only for your healing. Your life, your tears, your endurance, and your restored hope can become light for others who are finding their way. My beloved child, the story I have been shaping in you is not only for your healing. Your life, your tears, your endurance, and your restored hope can become light for others who are finding their way. What I have carried you through is not meaningless. What I have healed in quiet places can one day become a gentle lamp in someone else's darkness. My beloved child, you may not see yourself as a light. You may still notice your trembling, your questions, and the places that feel too tender to share. But I do not wait for you to become flawless before I shine through you. I often use the honest life, the humbled heart, the person who knows what it means to need mercy. You are the light of the world because my light lives in you. Not because you are loud, not because you have every answer, not because you never struggle. You become light when your life begins to show that pain did not have the final word, that grace can rebuild what was weary, and that hope can rise again after long seasons of silence. Think of the Samaritan woman at the well. She did not leave my presence with a perfect background or a polished speech. She left with an honest encounter. She said enough for others to become curious, and her story opened a door for many to come closer. My beloved child, your testimony does not need to sound impressive. It needs to be true. There are people who will not be reached by perfect words, but they may be reached by your honest peace. Someone will notice the way you remain gentle after disappointment. Someone will notice the way you speak with compassion because you have known pain. Someone will notice that you still believe, not because life was easy, but because I held you when it was hard. My beloved child, do not hide the light because your story has scars. A lamp does not become useless because it was once surrounded by darkness. Your scars, when placed in my hands, can become places where my mercy is seen clearly. They can speak softly to someone who thinks healing is impossible. I do not ask you to expose what is private before its time. I do not ask you to turn sacred wounds into performance. I ask you to live truthfully. Let your peace be real. Let your kindness be real. Let your faith be real. Let your growth be real. My light does not need to be forced. It will shine through a life surrendered to me. My beloved child, some people around you are carrying burdens they cannot name. They may smile as you once smiled. They may continue through daily tasks while their hearts quietly ache. When they encounter a soul that has been comforted by me, they may feel hope before they understand why. This is how your story becomes light. A gentle word at the right time, a patient response when anger expected anger, a prayer whispered for someone who has forgotten how to pray, a testimony shared with humility, a presence that carries peace into a tense room, a simple reminder that God is near to the brokenhearted. My beloved child, I am not calling you to become a performer of spirituality. I am calling you to become a witness of grace. A witness does not need to invent a story. A witness simply tells what has been seen, heard, received, and lived. You can say, I was tired and God gave me rest. I was afraid and God stayed near. I was waiting and God was still working. Remember the man who had been restored and wanted to follow me physically. I told him to return home and speak of the mercy he had received. My beloved child, sometimes the first place your light shines is not far away. It may be in your home, your conversations, your daily kindness, your quiet consistency, your ability to forgive, your willingness to keep walking in truth. You may think your ordinary faith is too small to matter, but a cup of cold water given with love matters in my kingdom. A small act of mercy can become a river in another person's dry place. A simple encouragement can become strength for someone who almost gave up hope. I see what flows from a heart that has been touched by my compassion. My beloved child, let me use what I have healed. Let me use the patience formed in your waiting. Let me use the tenderness formed in your valley. Let me use the wisdom formed through delay. Let me use the peace formed in your surrender. Nothing I have done in you is meant to stay locked away in fear. There will be moments when you do not even realize you are shining. You will think you are only listening, only being kind, only answering gently, only choosing peace. But someone will receive through you a glimpse of my heart. Someone will see that faith can survive pressure. Someone will believe that restoration is possible because they have seen it quietly growing in you. My beloved child, your life can become a letter of grace, not written with ink but with choices, responses, compassion, humility, and faithfulness. Let them read mercy. Let them read hope. Let them read a heart still being shaped by me. Do not be afraid that your light is small. Small lights guide weary travelers at night. Small flames keep rooms warm. Small stars help the sky feel less empty. In my hands, small faith can carry great comfort. Small obedience can open large doors. Small kindness can become a holy interruption in someone else's despair. I will make your quiet faith meaningful in another heart at the right time. My beloved child, what I have done in you will overflow as you remain close to me. Rivers of living water do not come from striving. They flow from a heart connected to my presence. Stay connected, stay humble, stay soft, stay willing. Let the life I pour into you move through you without pride and without fear. Your story is not only a record of what hurt you, it is becoming a testimony of how I kept you. It is not only about what you lost, it is about what grace restored. It is not only about the valley, it is about the shepherd who walked with you through it. This is the light others need to see. So walk gently, my beloved child. Let your life shine without forcing it. Let your peace speak without pretending. Let your compassion touch those who are weary. Let your story become a doorway where others can believe that I am still near, still healing, still restoring, and still calling hearts into hope. Stay close now, because the final word I want to speak over you is a word of peace and continuing light. You have listened, received, released, and been reminded of who you are in me. Now I will call you to walk forward in peace and keep the light burning. My beloved child, now I call you to walk forward in peace and keep the light burning. You have listened. You have brought me your burdens. You have remembered that your worth is rooted in me. You have allowed my truth to touch the places where fear, delay, shame, and silence tried to speak louder than my love. My beloved child, do not leave this moment as though nothing happened. Let what I have spoken settle into the quiet places of your heart. Let it become breath for the next step, courage for the next morning, and peace for the next decision. I did not bring you through this message only to comfort you for a moment. I brought you here to remind you how to live with me. Walk forward, but do not rush. Peace is not hurried. Peace does not need to prove itself. Peace does not panic when the whole road is not visible. Peace knows the shepherd is near. The psalm says, I lead beside still waters and restore the soul. My beloved child, let me lead you in that rhythm now, step by step, breath by breath, grace by grace. You do not need to carry the old weight into the new day. You do not need to pick up what you placed in my hands. You do not need to return to the fear that kept you awake or the labels that made you feel small. You are not walking out of this moment alone. I go before you. I walk beside you. I remain within you. My beloved child, keep the light burning, not by striving, not by pretending, not by forcing yourself to feel strong every hour. Keep it burning by staying close to me. A lamp remains bright when it stays supplied with oil. Your heart remains steady when it returns to my presence. Prayer is oil. Scripture is oil. Gratitude is oil. Quiet trust is oil. Obedience is oil. Remember the wise ones who kept their lamps ready. They did not know the exact hour, but they prepared with faithfulness. My beloved child, I am not asking you to live anxiously watching for trouble. I am asking you to live awake, tender, and ready for my leading. Keep your inner lamp alive by refusing to let bitterness, distraction, and fear cover what I have placed within you. There will still be days when the world feels heavy. There will still be questions that take time to unfold. There will still be mornings when you need to choose trust again. Do not be discouraged by that. A life of faith is not one perfect moment. It is many small returns, returning to me after fear rises, returning to me after disappointment speaks, returning to me after your heart feels tired. My beloved child, when you stumble, return. When you feel distracted, return. When you feel uncertain, return. When you feel strong, return then too. Do not come only when you are desperate. Come when you are grateful. Come when the sun rises. Come when the evening becomes quiet. Come when the answer arrives. Come when the answer is still forming. I am your dwelling place, not only your emergency shelter. The light I placed in you is not fragile in my hands. It may feel small to you, but small flames can guide tired travelers. Small prayers can open tender places. Small acts of obedience can change the direction of a life. Do not underestimate what I can do through a heart that remains surrendered. You do not need to be famous to shine. You need to be faithful. My beloved child, let your peace become a witness. Let your patience become a song. Let your kindness become a doorway. Let your endurance become quiet encouragement to someone who is losing hope. You may never know how one gentle word, one humble prayer, one honest testimony, or one peaceful response can touch another soul. But I know, I use what is offered in love. Do not fear the future. I am already there. Do not fear the unfinished places. I am still working. Do not fear the memories that still feel tender. I am still healing. Do not fear the dreams that remain hidden. I am still preserving. Do not fear the valley behind you or the doorway before you. My presence is faithful in both. My beloved child, receive my peace now. Not the peace that depends on perfect circumstances. Not the peace that disappears when life changes. Receive the peace that comes from knowing you are held, you are guided, you are loved, you are seen. You are not forgotten. You are not late to my mercy. You are not beyond my restoration. Let this truth go with you. I have heard the burdens you could not explain. I have entered the places you carried quietly. I have preserved what belongs to my purpose. I have removed false names from your heart. I have transformed you from within. I have walked with you through the valley. I have made your story a light that can help others find hope. And now I bless you to walk forward. I bless your mind with calm. I bless your heart with courage. I bless your steps with discernment. I bless your home with peace. I bless your words with gentleness. I bless your waiting with strength. I bless your future with my presence. May your soul remember what fear tries to make you forget. I am with you always. My beloved child, do not let this message end only as something you heard. Let it become something you carry. Let it shape how you breathe tonight, how you wake tomorrow, how you answer worry, how you see yourself, how you treat others, and how you trust me in hidden seasons. The light is meant to continue. If this message has met your heart, type Amen as a simple agreement of faith. Write, God is still leading me, if you believe I am guiding your steps even now. Share this message with someone who needs peace tonight, someone who has been waiting, someone who needs to remember that I am near. And if you have not yet subscribed, stay connected to this place of encouragement. Let these words continue to remind your heart that you are not walking alone. My beloved child, keep listening, keep believing, keep returning, keep the lamp of faith burning within you. When doubt rises again, do not treat it as failure. Bring it into my presence. When peace feels distant, do not chase noise to cover the ache. Sit with me. I will remind you. I will steady you. I will teach your soul to recognize my nearness again, even in ordinary moments, even when the path is quiet and your heart is tender. I am the one who began the good work in you, and I will be faithful to carry it forward. Walk in peace. Walk in light. Walk with a heart that knows it is loved. This is not the end of my care for you. It is the beginning of another step with me.